in this video, we have the esteemed pleasure of being joined by Jeff Grodsky, the 20-year veteran, certified financial planning professional. I mean, this guy really knows his way around money, and we have so many things to discuss. Hopefully Jeff can come by more than once because we really want to get some great information. So first and foremost, Jeff, hello, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Cedric. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I look forward to joining you in the future as well.
Yes. I'll hold you to that.
For sure.
The pleasure is indeed ours. So, Jeff, first and foremost, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I've been in the investment advisory business since 2000. Began my career while studying at the University of Maryland. Go Terps.
Yep.
I joined Vantax Wealth Management, Palumbo Financial and Tax Services late last year, which has really allowed me to grow as a financial professional, expand what I can offer my clients. So in between, I became an investment advisor in 2007 and specialized in portfolio management through managed investment models. In 2012, with a partner, I obtained my certified financial planner designation and started my own firm. Building a firm was a large undertaking, but my background from back office administration and compliance, coupled with my client-facing roles, provided me with all the tools to do so. So I was there about 2.5 years. In 2014, I decided to divest my interest in the firm and went to work for a 401k administrator and record keeper. Fabulous opportunity to branch out, and it's there where I obtained a QKA credential. QKA is a qualified 401k administrator, which helped me better understand the design and functionality of ERISA retirement plans, such as 401k plans, and how to properly service them. Then in 2015, I joined a fee-only investment advisor, which specialized in servicing high net worth individuals, small businesses. We built out financial plans and developed customized portfolios for each client with really a high focus on personalized service, which I think is very important. Currently, I'm working for Palumbo Financial and Tax Services through Vantax Wealth Management. This position has allowed me to take a more holistic approach to wealth management, capable of handling all of my clients' needs through comprehensive financial planning. And I can offer all the products and services that my clients would need, including insurance, annuities, financial planning, investment management, and tax preparation. Now, tax services are offered through our accounting practice at Palumbo Financial and Tax Services. Since becoming a financial advisor years ago, I've always been a fiduciary, and this is a big buzzword today, which simply means I'm bound to put my clients' interests ahead of my own, always doing what's in their best interest. Lastly, I also serve a client niche. I have a credential called a Certified Divorce Financial Analyst designation. It's a CDFA. So this helps people going through the process of the divorce during the separation achieve equitable settlement. So I'm working with the family law attorneys. And divorce is something that's personal to me as I've been through it before. So I'm very passionate about helping my clients in that respect. And on a personal note, I am happily married again. I live in Columbia, Maryland. I got a wonderful wife, 3 kids, ages 12, 10, and 1. And most recently, we got a puppy. So the household is busy, to say the least, but I love it. And so wanted to tell you a little bit about myself personally there.
Wait a minute. I didn't know you had a dog. What kind of dog did you get?
Oh, we got a rescue. It's a mix. So it's a lab hound mix. Got it at 8 weeks old. Went to see it, and they're like, "Hey, you can take it home right now." And I was like, "Well, I'm not prepared for this. You got to give me a day or two." So, my wife is like, "Hey, you've had dogs before. I thought you knew how to train it." And I'm reading up. It's been a while, so it's it's been a crazy few weeks with a 1-year-old and a puppy in the house.
Ooh-wee. Yeah,
Yeah, keeping busy.
when you go to the shelter, you know, they're like, "Hey, what are you doing right now?" Um, like
Yeah,
either
yeah,
they
yeah.
take you through all the paperwork and everything, you know, or they're like, "Well, listen, you know, we can make this happen." So yeah, you weren't prepared. You didn't have all the doggy beds, and you didn't have food and all that good stuff, you know. So yeah,
That's right. Trip to PetSmart, right?
congratulations, man. That's a
Thank
lab
you.
hound mix. That sounds like a smart dog.
Yeah, he seems to be. You know, crate training him and potty training him, and you know, so that's going fairly well. But it takes a lot of patience. Thankfully, I have that with 3 kids. I hope.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, because you mentioned a few different things there that you have going on with Palumbo. So, what are you all specializing in now? Just give us like the overview of what your specializations are now.
Yeah, so it's really holistic financial planning, and there's generally 8 areas. I'll touch on each very briefly, but there's cash flow and debt management. So this is the process of tracking how much money is coming in, how much is going out, and analyzing the changes with the cash flow. It's very important to know what you're spending because that's going to be a large basis for that financial planning. Debt management, way to minimize and eliminate debt through that budgeting and planning. So that's one area. Retirement planning. So simply put, this is preparing for life after your paid work ends. But it's an evolving process about determining the right retirement income needs and the actions and decisions necessary to achieve it. Third point is investment planning. So this is process of matching a client's financial resources with their risk tolerance, time horizon, goals, and objectives to create a suitable allocation of their investments. Next up, we have family risk management. So this is a process that identifies and assesses the exposure to the risks and the way to mitigate it by having adequate insurance coverage. So we look at life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care insurance, and try to identify any gaps you have in coverage that could pose a risk, to your retirement and your financial plan. Next up, we have education planning. So this is, simply ensuring that your children and grandchildren have sufficient funds to cover the cost of their education, which we know now has been a major cost to save for. So this is providing analysis of vehicles to save and invest for that. 6th point is legacy planning. So this is the process to designate who will receive your assets and handle family responsibilities after death and incapacitation. So we work with the state attorneys that we're not lawyers ourselves, but drafting wills and making sure your beneficiaries are up to date. That's all part of that point. Next is business planning, determining how your company will achieve its strategic goals and objectives. And we have a lot of self-employed individuals that own small businesses, so that's very important as well. And then lastly, special situations. So this is planning for a goal or need that's kind of a one-off event that could materially impact your plan. Situations such as planning for a wedding, buying a car, or if you're lucky enough to win the lottery, planning for those things. One thing I didn't mention in these 8 points is tax planning. And it's because tax planning is an integral part of all of these parts, and we're always looking at taxes and mitigating tax impacts as part of the financial planning process.
A lot of things to be covered there. I do appreciate the fact that you all have the wherewithal to, segment things into those specializations, because the majority of that stuff that you mentioned is applicable to most American lives, and I don't think that people really take that type of strategic approach in all cases. And I'm fairly certain that all of the financial planning professionals are not being so regimented and how they're looking at it. You know, these are like different departments of a building that make up your financial house, or you know, or your financial building rather. You know, they're different departments in the building, different floors, and
That's
they're all
right.
important. So I like that a lot. Okay.
Yeah. And
Go
not everybody will, there'll be some areas that we may not touch on because there isn't a need. You may have that in order, but kind of going through and seeing what the financial planning process is and how I can help you with each segment is important, I think.
Sure. We know it's not a one size fits all, but you know, that's one of the things that you are able to do is to help, you know, make an assessment within
Right.
and determine what areas of specialization are most important and applicable to their situation. So I just want to ask, because you know it's something that I ask frequently, what would you say is your value proposition?
Yeah, it's a great question. So value proposition is helping working professionals, pre-retirees, and those in retirement to create, their best future by using a collaborative, holistic financial planning process to maximize the potential for achieving the client's goals and dreams. And I know that's not to take in, but I like the best future, planning your best future. And it is collaborative because we're working together. But ultimately, it's about building that trust and that strong relationship with our clients by showing that we do genuinely care, and always doing what we believe is in their best interest. So I would say that's mainly the value proposition that we have.
I think my next question will be, because we talked about all these things that you know someone could do if they're working with you. So what is it like? Tell me about that first, you know, that initial financial planning meeting, that initial engagement. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so that initial meeting, it's a lot about discovery, but we want to find out if it's going to be a good fit to work together. The client has to like us and believe in the value we add. And many times that meeting is generated by a life event, such as an inheritance or a job change or starting a new family, or like I talked about earlier, maybe a divorce. So it'll involve a lot of information gathering to understand the client's personal and financial circumstances, identify and select the goals, and then analyze the client's current course of action. And each client, like you said, each client's situation is unique. We would have a initial meeting, gather all the information. And then if the client would like to proceed, we would put together a proposal. Just touching on fees and how that would work. That all depends on the nature of the agreement and what services we would provide, but we wouldn't know that until we kind of took a deeper dive into all of that and came up with a proposal. So, but most of our business comes from satisfied clients and referrals, and preserving that chain of trust, if you will.
Not everyone knows or recognizes why it would be beneficial to work with a financial planning professional like yourself, you know, a certified individual. And I think there are some myths out there about, you know, why you shouldn't. Humor me. Just tell me, what would you say are some of the pros and cons of working with a certified financial planning professional?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of benefits, but goals and strategy formation. Sometimes individuals they need some direction. A lot of our clients are working professionals that have a lot of assets and maybe a huge salary, but a lot of times they don't know the strategy or what to do with those assets and that money. And that's where we come in. I think educating our clients is a big part of it. Getting that organization and clarity. Another benefit, I think, is the accountability. So this is huge. holding the client accountable financially makes them take action, I think, and that's important. Also, we obviously have a lot of resources available that we could leverage that potentially the client doesn't. So in that respect, I think it's a big time saver working with a financial professional. The other thing, I think, obviously the stock market's been great off of last spring's lows, but a lot of clients make, or individuals, I should say, make behavioral mistakes. So, the average investor, based on a recent study, underperforms their benchmark by about 2 percentage points annually. And this is mainly due to emotional trading and chasing performance. And so, see a lot of that, see a lot of emotional trading. And, for everybody that's doing great, there's another person on the other side of that trade that is not. So we kind of take the emotion out of it and just try to think logically. And of course, it's what we do is a lot of long-term focus in the stock market and the investments we choose. So, and then I think another benefit is, connecting with other qualified professionals that we trust and work with. So, kind of being the quarterback there and connecting clients with estate planners, estate attorneys, mortgage brokers, real estate agents, like yourself, things like that, I think is important. And so I think it all comes down, to peace of mind. That you can't put a price on that sometimes. So it's very important. Some of the cons, of working with a professional, I think if I had to say, we do charge fees, but self-serving, I guess, I think we more than add enough value to justify the fees we charge. And then, financial professionals are required to disclose their conflicts of interest. So commissions, for example, create an incentive for us to sell you products, right? And if you had an advisory account, which is a fee-based account, which is charged as a percentage of assets under management, that fee is going to increase as the value of your account increases, regardless of any trading activity in the account. So, we disclose all of that, obviously, and being a fiduciary certified financial planner, I think putting the client's interests ahead of your own when you come to these conflicts is of the utmost importance.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And you're not running a charity. Those 3 lovely children in that puppy cannot live off of compliments. So yeah, you got to work, you got to eat. So I think it's only fair that people understand that this is a fee for a professional service, which is fine because it's a win-win. You're helping them grow their finances and remain stable and plan for the future, and they're helping you to put some food on the table. Something that you said that I want to touch on real quick. You mentioned talking to real estate professionals. I have had and continue to have a lot of individual clients that are looking to buy or sell a home. Go and speak to their certified financial planning professional beforehand, just to be a part of the conversation and strategize. How much money should I put down? Where should that money come from? What are the implications of taking this money from these different places? And how might I go about, reapplying those funds if I'm pulling them from, a TSP or a 401k or something like that, I'm going to get $100,000 from the sale. How much of that should I put into this? What should I do with those proceeds? So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. And along those lines, one of the biggest questions we get from homeowners is, with mortgage rates are so low, as you know, these days. And it's like, hey, do I pay off the mortgage? Because there's something about that, just getting that debt taken care of, or do I pay the minimum amount every month and invest the difference, And so rates are so low, and that's a conversation that we have quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't want to bog you down too long. I think we got a lot of good information today. I would love to have you come back and get into some specific topics. So for the time being, I'm gonna let you get back to business. Thank you so much, my friend. In the meantime, I'm sure people have questions. How can they reach you, sir?
Yeah, thank you. And I'd love to come back, Cedric. Thank you for having me. I can be reached at office number. If I'm not in the office, I can be patched through to my cell phone. But the office number is 410-412-3321. My email is Jeff, Jeff, at joepalumbocpa.com. And our website is joepalumbocpa.com as well. I also encourage you to check out our Facebook page, Palumbo Financial and Tax Services. So I look forward to speaking with you again, Cedric, and thanks again for having me on. Appreciate it very much.
You can count on it. All right, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.